What's up, guys? This is Ninja on a Ninja, and you have spoken, and apparently I am hard to understand. So I'm going to, uh, because you said something, because you actually partook. Uh, Unfortunately, the person that said something was crying and bitching and throwing a fit. Um, but like that's how it works. I don't know that I'm doing something until you tell me. Now that I know, I will try to make it more clear for you, cuz sometimes I don't know. I just go. I can't plan. I have a disability basically. Um and so a speech impediment is part of it. And so moving forward, I'm still the smartest man alive, despite the fact that I have these ailments. Okay, so that's it. I have a video for you. It's scientific, kind of. I'll show you right now. Oh shit. Here it is. Okay, so this is by Steve Mold, who has 3.4 million subs, and it pains me because I don't get a response from people, and I'm calling this dude out, and I want people to talk to me and respond to me and hear me and see what's being said, because I'm critiquing him in a legit way, and you guys are allowing him to say what he's saying, and you're not thinking or involved or whatever you want to call it, right? And you need to be involved. So, anyways, I stopped at about 5 minutes, so we're not gonna watch all of it, but we're gonna watch some of it. And I wanted to show you this because it's very important, and I think this will be my featured video for a lot of time because this is so fucking perfect. It explains why the world sucks, but using science. So, and again, the psychology is how I got there. But anyways,
Sponsored by Shop. This video, one is at the Art by Science Center in Estonia, and the other one is here in my studio. I can't have caffeine, but I love coffee. It's okay. I'll just get one of those supercritical CO2 devices. Yeah, I'll do that.
I hate how fake you are. You are being a Hollywood slut, basically.
This thing on top is a transparent vessel. The internal volume's only about the same as a Petri dish, but the glass walls are incredibly thick, about 40 millimeters. That's because it's designed to withstand 80 times atmospheric pressure, which means I should be able to witness something incredibly rare inside.
My internet fucked up. 1 second. Sorry. One second. Fortunately, I'm not uploading or anything. I'm just video. My video fucked up. My edit, rather. Hopefully, it'll come right back right now.
I clearly have.
Okay.
This is what I'm telling my patients to buy this Black Friday. Being a dental hygienist who also wears a liner
Inside.
I don't really care.
Some pressure, which means I should be able to witness something incredibly rare
So we're back to where we were.
inside. Something that is like a gas and like a liquid, but it's neither of those things. And no, it's not a plasma either. Also, to be clear, this bit on top, there's more than two of those in the whole world, but it's this thing underneath that makes it really special. I'll get to that in a minute, but first, let me show you what it does. First, you add dry ice, that's solid carbon dioxide, and then you tighten all of these bolts to exactly the same tightness. In this case, 40 Newton meters of torque if you want to be.
This is a cam whore. Like, all of this is nice for the camera, but it's just presentation to be more appealing for the audience instead of actually stating facts. It's you're trying to use looks and appearance, and this is why I call you a whore, because it's like trying to show your tits. Calm down, lady. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Be exact. That seals the container, except I've left this little valve open, which is why you can hear it hissing. That's because, as you probably know, solid carbon dioxide turns very quickly into a gas at room temperature, skipping the liquid phase altogether. That's called sublimation. But let's see what happens when I...
People can call things whatever they want. That doesn't make them right. Me, I personally don't agree with your terms, and I'm going to change the world, so.
Close that valve. The dry ice continues to sublimate into a gas, but because the gas has nowhere to go, the pressure builds up. And it turns out that at really high pressure, solid carbon dioxide no longer sublimates straight into a gas. Instead, it melts into liquid carbon dioxide. Now,
real quick, it no longer sublimates. You know why? Because that is based on Earth. It's not based on the universe. So, yes, that is a term for Earth, but not for the universe. Because the universe, that pressure may not exist. It's different. So, my point is, you're acting like this is how it is, but that's how it is under certain conditions, and this is how this is under certain conditions. And my point is that isn't to the root, that is under certain conditions. I operate for the root. Anyways,
this is...
that's what science used to do, by the way. It goes to the root as much as it can, and it points to where it originated from or why it is, and it would say like, oh well, based on this, because of this or whatever. That's what science was, but science is starting to become religion, basically, where it's like, oh, we believe that it what's it called? When you zoom in particles and nanoparticles, they appear to go through walls, and we think, and like we believe, it's the same thing as religion and belief. Like we think, okay, but what's the proof? You know what I'm saying? We're at our limit. Stop trying to go beyond. We're at our limit. You're at the limit. Leave it the fuck alone. Go find something else to do. You fucking read a book, you loser. Yeah, God damn it.
Pretty rare in itself, but it's not the really rare thing that I want to show you. Interestingly enough, you've probably encountered liquid carbon dioxide many times in your life because it's in carbon dioxide fire extinguishers. It's just that you can't see it with your eyes because the container isn't transparent like it is here. So eventually all the solid carbon dioxide is gone and you're left with liquid carbon dioxide at the bottom and gas carbon dioxide at the top. But here's
again, those, like, you gotta think of it like a tree, basically. And so, Earth, it's carbon dioxide, right? But it's carbon dioxide on Earth, and then it acts this way according to physics of Earth, basically, because of whatever, like, you are setting conditions for it to exist. Basically, like, did you vacuum the area? Is there pressure? Like, what's going on? Like, there might be, like, this is how it is, but with a small amount of pressure. You know what I'm saying? You didn't vacuum it, possibly. I don't know. So, like, you can't define stuff when there are, you know what I'm saying? Your technique is sloppy. You're sloppy. You're making a mess. There's atmosphere in there. And you're trying to define a liquid in its true form, but it has atmosphere in there. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So that's it. Anyways.
Here's the really cool part. What happens when you heat up this pressurized vessel? To find out, I could blast it with a heat gun or something, but we actually have a much better solution, and that's what this mysterious black box is all about. You see these copper pipes that hug the container? Well, they go down into the black box, and inside there are 2 tanks of water, there's a shower heater, and a water cooler. And by pressing these buttons, I can pump hot or cold water through these copper pipes, which is great because it means that I can get an instant even heat. So let's see what happens. Well, it continues to boil for a while, but instead of just boiling off completely into a gas, at some point that
What did you do, though? Right?
line between
Like, you're saying at some point, what, did you heat it? Did you freeze it?
get an instant even heat. So
Okay,
let's see what
heat.
happens. Well, it continues to boil for a while, but instead of
Boil.
just boiling off completely into
Okay.
a gas, at some point that line between liquid and gas goes cloudy and then just kind of fades away. So what's in there now?
You still see it. It's still waves.
Is it a liquid or a gas or something else? And what would
So, 255. Why are you asking that question? Do you not know what would happen? Like where those lines went, what you're talking about? And then I said, damn, I must be hell smart because I know what would happen and I don't need to figure it out. I already know. Right?
what's in there? Liquid and gas goes cloudy and then just kind of fades away. So what's in there now?
So what's in there now, they mixed. They're both of them are one. What our perception of there's only a gas, a solid, and a liquid, we were wrong because it's defined on Earth. Much like once upon a time, theorists thought Earth was the center of the universe. It isn't. This is one of those adjustments. Realize what you thought was zero is not zero. That's again, it's chemical of Earth with Earth principles, but we don't define a chemical on Earth's principles, but we have for a while. So what you're seeing is it's just it. So I know what it is. And I didn't say what it was because this was originally supposed to be a comment on his page. But because of a comment later, we'll get to it later, I decided to make a video about it. So now that I'm making a video about it, I can actually talk about it a little bit. They became one. So we said there's gas, a liquid, and then a solid, but there's actually something in the middle where they become one, basically. Right. So you're asking like what is what, but in my head I can see it, I can visualize it, and I always said I have the world's best sandbox in here. Basically, I can take an idea, put it in my head, and use my imagination, and 2 + 2 will equal 4 after it's done. And this is with any principles anywhere about anything. I'm hella smart. I really am. And so I know. But anyways, my point was, why are you asking these questions when I can tell you the answer to your questions? It's very easy for me, but it's hard for you apparently.
Is it a liquid or a gas
Both.
or something else?
Yes.
And what would happen to a tiny boat that was floating on that boundary between
So here, how do you not know what would happen?
liquid and gas when it started to blur? And most important
How do you not know?
else. And what would happen to a tiny boat that was floating on that boundary between liquid and gas when it started to blur? And
Right there, that question that he asked, how do you not know what happens? Wow, I must be really smart if you have to figure out what I already know, basically, right? And so you're like, what is, and I'm like, I can tell you. This is why humans are great, and this is the thing about us that makes us better than AI, that makes us better than robots, why they need us, and why, what's it called? Robots need us, and AI needs us, and why humans are so valuable, and why stupid people who think they're smart and are leading the way, but in reality, they don't know, they don't have imagination. The imagination, you need imagination. You're too far gone. And that's kind of my point there. But anyways,
most importantly, why do people put coffee beans in there? You know, this is a video
because they want to.
that I've wanted to make for ages, and I've finally got the apparatus to do it. What you're looking at is supercritical fluid. To understand
or basically a solid liquid. Basically, they're fused into one, and again, you're trying to make it something, but it is something already. It's just that we haven't discovered it. We knew it was there, but we never defined it. Now, with my brain, we understand that that's just a fourth state of matter that we didn't know about, right? Because we based everything on Earth. That's all we know. But we can create a scenario where the situations allow certain things, and then we realize, hey, there's a fourth, what's it called, a fourth state that we didn't know about. That's what's going on. That's what we're seeing. Basically, that's what's being created. And again, we have known. We know it's a thing, but again, it's just that you need imagination to be able to take the next step. It's always for the next step. It's always to wonder what is or what could be, and then go for it. That's what makes humanity great. So,
supercritical fluid, we really need to understand phases in general because they're weirder than you think. Take dry ice, for example. That goes straight from a solid to a gas, which seems weird, but actually that's the sensible thing. It's melting that's
on Earth,
weird. I mean, think about it. You've got a solid, all the molecules are stuck together, and then as you heat it, the molecules on the outside surface get enough energy to be able to escape the surface, and they fly off as a gas. Like, why would they hang around in this weird state that's half stuck together, half...
because depending on what it is, it breaks off in clumps. It's stuck together, and it's like here, bits are flying off it. That's not realistic. They're falling to the side, right? It's falling to the side, and because it's like it's a state that's hard for you to understand. It's hard for me to explain. I can visualize it, but it's hard to put into words. Basically, what you're talking about, why it goes, it's because it's turning into a liquid. It's just that you're not aware of it. You need one of those cameras that can zoom in on it. Basically, that would be a good idea to get that super critical state and get the slow motion camera. Talk to the slow mo guys. You need to talk to the slow mo guys, and you need to slow motion that shit, and then you will see that it goes from a solid to a liquid to a gas. It doesn't go from a solid to a gas. It goes into a solid to a liquid to a gas. I guarantee that's what it does. It has to, right? Because that's how it is. That's just physics, right? So, anyways, that's my point there, I guess. But
not stuck together. And in fact, everything sublimates in the vacuum of space. So
again, sublimate's a term that we created that I don't think is justified. I think it's an Earth term. But again, in reality, it's stupid to say. It's not really happening. It's just your perception of reality. And again, if you got the slow-mo camera and zoomed in and looked at it, you would see that like a lot of it just moves, and some of it's breaking off. And you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't go straight from solid to gas. It doesn't do that. It goes solid into, like, even slight liquid into gas. That's the point. But again, sublimate or whatever, you're creating terms, much like all the other fucking fakers out there, because you're trying to be famous for something, because you got nothing, because you're stupid, because you're a faker, because you're a liar, and I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Why do we see liquids here on Earth? To figure it out, let's look at a phase diagram. So this phase diagram shows you when carbon dioxide will be a solid, a liquid, or a gas, depending on pressure and temperature.
Oh shit.
And a gas can do a sublimates, and dioxide will be a solid. Why do we see liquids here on Earth? To figure it out, let's look at a phase diagram. So this phase diagram shows you when carbon dioxide will be a solid, a liquid, or a gas.
I wanted to pause it there because I wanted to tell you that it goes solid, solid into you called it a weird word or whatever. It goes solid liquid into subligate or whatever you called it, which isn't real. There is no, or no. You said solid to gas, and that's subligated or whatever. But my point is that's not real. You're gonna change this graph if this graph is garbage. It goes solid, and no matter what, there is no solid to gas. It goes solid to liquid to gas. It has to soften first. There's nothing in the world that is solid and then gas. It must go through liquid. It must go through liquid. But you can indent something between liquid and gas because that's what we're seeing. It's between a liquid and gas. You gave the example of the boat. What would happen to the boat? And the boat would just float. It would just sit there. You know why? It's because the top is equal to the bottom, and the bottom is holding the boat. So the boat would float. Whatever it was is floating. But understand that that's not going to exist in reality because whatever it was, if it was on Earth, it might be crushed. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the properties change. And my mind is capable of understanding that. It's just turning into words is hard, basically. So my point is, if you put something that floats on the liquid, and then the liquid and then turns into the gas, and they're the same, and the liquid and gas are the same, and the boat is still there, it will just sit there. It won't move. It will float. Right? But again, the properties of it are different than here on Earth. So anyways.
Depending on pressure and temperature. So here's atmospheric pressure. And look, as temperature increases, you go from a solid to a gas. That's
No, you don't.
sublimation. But then as you increase the pressure, a new possibility emerges, the liquid phase.
No, the liquid phase is always there. You're stupid.
In other words, you only get a liquid phase at high pressure, which is why we have it here on Earth, because we're being crushed from all
No, that's not true.
sides by atmospheric pressure. It's enough to hold.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The pressure is holding us, but my point is, it has to soften. It has to soften before it can be released. That's my point. It has to soften before you can release. There's nothing in the world that's just like it's just from solids up. There's nothing that does that. It has to turn into a liquid and then it will turn into a gas. Guaranteed 100%. I will stake my whole fucking
the
everything on
molecules
it.
together, even though they can slide around each other. And it's also why we have liquid inside this chamber, because the pressure is really high.
Yeah,
But
I
hold on,
know.
if I pick any point on this phase diagram, it gives me either a solid, a liquid, or a gas. But inside this chamber, I clearly have both a liquid and a gas at the same time. So how is that
Right.
possible? Well, look,
'Cause-
at the beginning, we've set the temperature
The reason why it's possible is because there's a fourth state of matter that we didn't know about until that experiment proved that there's a fourth state of matter that we didn't know about, and you're too stupid to accept it. This is the problem with math in the world, is that the leaders are too stupid for change. They won't allow change because their graphs are pretty, and they don't want to. They don't want to admit they were wrong.
and the pressure to be here, let's say,
Okay, 450 was when I stopped. They need people like me to lead the way so that we can be granted new territory and new discoveries and new ideas and such. But they want to be in charge, so they hold back everyone, and that holds progress back. So, what I mean by that, this is the meat of the matter, by the way, this is what I wanted to get to, was people like Stephen Mould are going to hold everyone else back because they don't want to admit they were wrong. I want to say solid can go to gas. I don't want to admit that it must go through liquid first, so I'm going to deny you a presence on the stage. He should be bringing me up so I can show, like, look at this, and then, oh my God, the world would move on. But because you don't want to admit defeat, you don't move. That's going on in America and across the world, dummy. They want even more, or they want power, even though they can't provide power, and they hold the providers back because they would have to give up the said power. Like, look at the red and the blue states. Blue states pay more than red states. Red states absorb more. There's more yachts in red states than in blue states. I can almost guarantee you that. Um, the point is, it's because they are like cancer. They aren't providing, and they're holding us back. And we have the fear of Nazism over our heads because the red is at that point where it's like it's okay to kill your opponent. It's okay. But when blue's in charge, hey, your tan suit, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? Like, wake the fuck up. Anyways, if the current management was in charge back when the A bomb was created, the A bomb probably wouldn't have happened because we wouldn't have been able to be free to think and evolve to that point. And that's what's controlling the world right now. That is literally in charge of the world right now. We can't evolve because people like Steve Moll don't want to admit defeat. You understand? The whole world is that way. It's the same thing. I get a lot of shit online because they are trying to ruin my name. But I should be leading the way. But because they don't want to admit they were wrong or that they fucked up or that they're stupid or they want power or they want control, they want to appear to be the one who is what's called logical, or they want to seem to be right. And they want to appear to be like, oh, I'm the provider, I'm the daddy, right? But they can't. They can't do it. Whereas I can. And they're full of shit. They're trying to lie to you and they're exploiting you. And that's what the problem with the sellouts. That's because they're pretending to be something they're not. And the way that they are, the way the world works is now there's fuel for the fakers, basically. You're willing to sell an image, cool. We'll put money into that. So sell that, and then it blows up. Now it's number one. But Bernie Sanders, like, there's a reason why he can fill a stadium, but he can't fill a chat room. It's because they control the medium. You know what I'm saying? But they don't control people. They control the internet. This is why my channel doesn't blow up. This is why I'm way like I say stuff way better than Steve Mulder does. Like the stuff that I cover is like holy shit. My mind would like your life would change overnight watching what I say. But for some reason you watch Steve Mold. It's because of this. This is why I wanted to tell you this. So last thing, it actually reminds me of our fear with AI taking over. That's basically what's going on right now. We have people that can't think leading the way, and they're holding the people who can think. Like again, just like AI, AI can't think. It can follow an order, but it can't give you an order. You know what I'm saying? That's what's leading us. Those type of people. They can give you orders and stuff, but they can't think, they can't evolve, they can't learn. They're in control. That's why we can't go anywhere. That's why America sucks. The world sucks because cancer is leading the way. Anyways, they're leading the way. They're holding everyone else back to maintain that power. They don't want to lose control. They want to stay in control. And so to do that, the way that they do that is they deny. Oh, liquids that what's called solid states can go into a gas state. No, it can't. It has to become a liquid first. Guaranteed, 100%. It has to become a liquid first. In the event that there is no pressure, how the fuck do you have a solid? There has to be liquid. There has to be, right? In fact, how do you even have gas? We don't know. Again, these are all concepts and rules based on your reality, and you're trying to get us to fucking devour all your words exist. No, they don't. You're full of shit. Fuck you. I look at the books of people who led because they wanted to lead, because they wanted to help the world, not because they wanted power, because they wanted they wanted money and shit. Fucking, dude, look how you started the video. Look how you started.
This video is sponsored by Shopify.
Like, what the fuck? Enough said. think. Anyways, be well, be happy, be safe, take care, God bless, be strong, be loved. And yeah, I said God bless. You know why? Because that's if you believe in God, go for it. If you don't, go for it. It doesn't matter. Do what you want. It's America. It's the world. The world should be this way. Anyway. That's it. Be happy, be safe. Don't let the door hit you or the Lord split you. And peace.